So a lot of guys will get lean in their life. They'll get in shape maybe during one season of their life, and then they lose it. And the reason they lose it is from one big ass mistake. And that's what I'm gonna talk to you guys about in this video. Is if you've ever gotten a six pack before, or maybe you've never gotten one, and you want a six pack, but you find yourself getting frustrated, and you're like, "What am I doing wrong?" Well, this video is designed. I'm setting it up to help you guys get that six pack and not make the number one mistake that I believe 90% of men make that prevents them from getting in shape and staying that way. Okay? And it's not like, having kids or going bankrupt in their business or getting fired from their job. That's not really why people gain a bunch of weight. Guys gain a bunch of weight. That's not really it. Okay? It's something else. And I'll talk to you guys about it in this video. For you guys that are new to the channel, welcome. It's nice to meet you on YouTube. I'm Jeremiah Sullivan. I was a quitter in life, turned my whole life around by working on my mindset, getting mentorship, and I'm a former infantry officer, Army Ranger. And now what I do is I'm trying to help build you guys up into the best versions of you. That's, in simple form, that's what I'm trying to do. And by doing so, help you achieve all your goals. But think about this. What do most people in life struggle with? Confidence, their self-image, their marriage, their energy, right? Stress. Well, getting in shape really fixes the majority of those things. It does help. I have met people that were fit and not confident, but typically a person that is in a tough spot and they're depressed or down, if you get that person optimized, you fix their diet, you fix their training, you get them right, their whole world becomes right. It's like that's a cheesy personal development statement that's been passed around over the years. It's like when a person is right, his world becomes right. But it's true. The outer world reflects the inner world. You guys ever meet somebody that had it all? Maybe they had this, at the time it was the six-figure salary. They had no real big problems in their life, but everywhere they went, they were miserable. And it was because they didn't like being with themselves. Well, typically, what I've seen over the years, so I've been in the coaching space, before I was an online coach and in-person coach for executives and high achievers. I was in the military always trying to make people better. And it was because before I got into the military, I quit on myself. And I never wanted to see people quit on themselves. That really does drive me. Quitting on yourself every single day hurts way more than failing towards your goals every single day. So the number one mistake that people make is they might get lean. Okay, they might get the six pack, they might get in shape, but they don't stay that way. And it's simply for this reason. And it's because they never really changed themselves, their mindset. They did a diet and they chased a result. But the reason why people never stick, they don't get to the result and keep going, is because they didn't upgrade the mindset. They didn't get the mindset that they needed. They didn't install the mindset to keep themselves in shape, right? Think about this, guys. They say what's that saying? If you don't use it, you lose it. Well, that's true with your mindset, okay? A lot of, especially men, we're all guilty of this, right? In our teens and our 20s, maybe we were able to get in shape by outworking our bad diet, right? And then as you start getting into your 30s, your 40s, your 50s, it's like the metabolism starts slowing down. And if you carry your habits from your 20s into your 30s and 40s and later, you're not going to be able to outwork those bad habits. You might get lucky in your 20s. If you can't get in shape in your 20s and your 30s, early 30s, we have a serious problem right now. You're just being lazy. There's something wrong there. Okay. Now, I'm not really here to fat shame people, and I'm not here to fucking degrade any of you guys that are struggling with your weight. What I'm here to do is help you understand the core problem. The core problem, listen, when I came into the military, I had a hard time believing I could run further than 2 miles. That belief system made every time I ran 2 miles in the military for the APFT, it felt like running for 100 miles in my head. It was like a huge daunting task. But 1 mile was under 10 minutes of actual physical activity. Under 10 minutes. And in my head, it felt like an hour. So some of you guys are in that same mental space where it is a daunting task to get yourself in shape. So what happens is you guys will get fed up, right? You'll get sick and tired of being chubby, fat, dad bod, whatever. You're getting tired of not having scrawny little arms or whatever, and you'll get fed up, and then you'll decide to change. And you'll get a diet, a training plan, you'll start putting in the work, you'll get to the result, and then you'll be so satisfied, you'll stop, and then you'll go back to your other habits. You'll start overeating. You maybe even continue on your training, but you don't keep watching your diet. You don't keep improving your standards. So the main thing that happens is that there's three significant phases when it comes to your transformation. Number one is the decision phase. You making a decision, going back and forth on whether or not you should go get the six-pack. Well, the second phase is doing the work. You're going to do some hard work. You're going to lose the weight. And then the third phase is maintaining it, changing your identity, changing your standards so that you maintain being lean and you keep the six-pack. Okay? So in order for you to maintain, let's just say that you make the decision, you get shredded, you get on a plan. You have the key is, number one, to get a six-pack is follow a plan that actually works. You are not the only person in the world that has been in your situation. I know sometimes that's hard to believe when you're there. You feel like you're alone, but you're like, no, nobody doesn't have it like me. No, you call yourself on your bullshit. You're just not implementing the right plan. So first, get the right plan. Follow that plan perfectly. Get the weight off. Number two, once you get the weight off, as you are going through the process of losing weight and you're getting those mental victories, you have to acknowledge what you are doing with your mindset to get the victories. What did you do to overcome the pizza? What did you do to overcome the burger? What did you do to not go out and eat ice cream Friday night? What did you do Saturday and Sunday to not binge? What did you do in those moments to keep yourself mentally on track? Well, every time you go through life, right, you go through a hard period, what happens? You overcome something hard and you get a little piece of wisdom. Think about the time in your life where you dated somebody and it didn't work out. You got done dating them and you're like, man, that was actually a bad relationship. I never should have dated that person because of this reason. That person was like this. They were toxic. They were gaslighting. They were narcissistic, whatever it is. And you're like, they were a cheater, a liar. I'm not going to make that same mistake again. So as you go down your fitness journey, you cannot mentally bypass the lessons that you're learning getting shredded. You have to learn what you are doing every step of the way. When you get those little victories, you have to reflect and you have to process it. Okay, so what's going to make you guys consistent on the back end is, one, unlock the mindset tools that you took to get yourself in shape. Okay, now if you're doing it on your own. If you're in a program, like you're getting coached by me or something, I will teach you how to think your way to getting lean. But let's just say you're going to do it on your own. When you get those victories and you make those little switches, you're like, oh shit, in the moment where I was going to eat late at night, I said, fuck that. I'm not going to. I'm going to live by my word. You committed to your word and that caused you to get a victory. Well, now you know that committing to your word was a powerful tool for you. Okay, so you have to, after you get a victory, you have to think about it. You have to process it. I recommend journaling for everybody. Like, you go through your victories, you get some weight loss victories, you write down how you went about it. Uncover your process. Uncover your winning operating system. Okay, and then the next thing is you have to attach a lifelong purpose to what you're doing. If you don't have a lifelong purpose, like not something like, oh, I need to do this for my kids, or oh, I need to do this for my wife, but no, like, why is it truly, truly important to you that every single day you never quit on yourself and you show up to get yourself in shape? If you don't have a deep why, you need to start brainstorming with some fit people on why they stay fit. This is the key. A lot of you guys might have success in an area of life, but in this fitness realm, you don't have enough discussions around how fit people stay fit. You guys end up going, like, you'll get shredded, but then you won't talk to anybody about what you did. You won't really uncover the mindset that these fit people have. Like, I know this guy, he stays underneath 10% body fat all year. I talked to him about his shit. How do you do that? Tell me what you think about. And his line, he says how he stays underneath 10% body fat, anytime he's at a crossroads, he just says, hey, this doesn't support my goals. Going off plan doesn't support my goals. That works for him. But the whole point that I'm trying to make for you guys is we have to attach a deep purpose to the goal to complete the transformation. And for you guys, I'm trying to equip you for success. Obviously it helps if you get some mindset coaching along the way, but if you just do this one thing and you practice it over and over and over again, it might take you like several years to actually get in shape, but you'll do it. Now, if you want to speed up the process, get around other people that have gone through the transformation, other people that hold themselves accountable to a higher levels of fitness, and just uncover their process. But the number one thing that causes a guy to get lean and go back to become a has-been is that he never commits fully to the process, and he always chases a result. He doesn't chase the best version of him. That is the key. If you want lasting success, you have to be deeply passionate about becoming the best version of you every single day and recommit to the process. You can have some deviation. You can go up 5 pounds, maybe 10 pounds max. You don't want to be blown up to 20, 30, 40 pounds overweight and then coming back down. That is mental torture. So I could do videos on this all day, but I really want to give you guys the number one key that I think the number one mistake people make to not stay lean, and it's that they chase a result. They don't chase an identity. They don't chase a new version of them. So guys, please watch this video over and over again. Maybe sit down, reflect on what getting in shape would mean for you, because if you want confidence, a better self-image, a better marriage, a better life, better energy, really, if you get yourself a six-pack, God, that solves like a lot of those issues, guys. And this is coming from a guy who had a hard time running 2 miles, who was like the fit fat guy. Like I was lifting weights and working out, but I never had a six-pack. But then I went from never having a six-pack to having a six-pack to going from 2 miles to running 100 miles. Fitness has changed my life. And not only will it change your life, it'll change everybody's life around you. Guys, I love you all. Leaders don't follow you for what you say. If people don't follow you for what you say, your team and your people follow you for what you do. Love you guys. We'll see you in the next video. Conquer all.